I adopted a dying cat when I was a sophomore in college. Let me elaborate. When I was a sophomore in college, I decided to end a long-term serious relationship with my high school sweetheart. This was a really hard and sad decision for me to make, so I was really sad afterwards. And during that time, I became super lonely and felt very depressed. And it definitely didn't help that I was in all online classes, so I barely got any human interaction. It got so bad that I finally looked into possibly adopting an animal to help keep me sane. So I decided to go visit my local animal shelter to see what some of the adoption options were. After chatting with the shelter workers, I decided that I was not ready for the long-term commitment of a pet. But then she suggested a really good in-between solution, which was fostering. And I was like, yes, this is the perfect compromise option for me and something that I could definitely do. I told them to put me on the list and let me know when there was a next foster available. Literally that exact night, I get a call from the shelter saying that they had a foster for me, but that it was a very special case. We have a foster for you that we think would be a perfect match, but she is a hospice foster. And I was like, okay, well, what does that mean? Well, we found this cat named Lua who was completely abandoned, and she also happens to be dying of cancer. And at this point, so many things are rushing through my head. Who in their right mind would ever abandon a dying cat? After being silent for a good minute straight, I was like, okay, well, what does that entail? And they explained to me that I would basically be her caretaker and keep her comfortable until she passes away. At this point, I'm literally shitting my pants because I'm like, I've never fostered. Why would you choose me? Worker basically said that based off of my lifestyle and things like that, they thought that I would be the best match for her. So that same night, I went and picked up my first ever foster, Lua. And one thing they didn't tell me about Lua was they had just finished operating on her to remove her eye with cancer. So homegirl literally also only had one eye, but this made me love her so much more. And I, of course, immediately fall in love with her and take her home. And literally the first night I had her, she busted open her stitches and I had to rush her to the emergency vet. After that, she was pretty easy and I just had to take her to all her vet appointments and give her medicine and things like that. And we basically became attached at the hip best friends. In its own weird way, I feel like we both needed each other more than we knew. And for the next couple months, my whole life was Lua, and we even became a little Instagram famous. Lua had a whole fan base on Instagram, but then things started to go south and Lua's health started to decline. That's all the time I have in this story, so for a part 2.